After 2 years living aboard Yabá, we're back at the shipyard. This time, not to rebuild her, but to make her better. Out there, sailing the coast, there was one thing we missed more than we expected, an autopilot. But on a boat like Yabá, nothing is ever that simple. Before we can install one, there's a lot to improve on our current steering system. So today, we're teaming up with the shipwrights to make that happen. And while we're at it, there's plenty more to take care of. Today we are working on a project which I think was top 3 of our list, together with anti-fouling, anchor chain box maybe, and this. On the rudder we have 3 pindle and gudgeons, I think that's what they're called, and we're only making use of 2 of them. The top one is just completely kind of floating in the air. It's very structurally strong still, but it could be stronger. So we need, for the rudder post, at least 50 length. Easy. 12 width, it's like 20, and ooh, you guys recognize this? It was our old keel. This is what we started off with, and that's what we have now. Our initial idea was to cut the top off that rudder that we found behind the boat, but looking amongst not that rubble, but this rubble, we found another piece. And the piece we found might not look the nicest, but I think once you've cleaned it and planed it and cut it, it's going to be perfect. As you can see, we have the honors to be working with Clayton and Zeka on this. Clever minds when it comes to boat building and fast hands. And I'm very fortunate also to have access to that type of wood over there. I'm not sure exactly what wood it is, but it looks super, super strong. Clayton and Zeka have already made a template of what the piece should look like on the boat. We've already sanded that flat. We're going to bring it over to that block of wood and then try and fit it in place.
Pega aí o homem na motosserra.
As we're going to work with a very heavy, large piece here on the platform. I'm going to drop the dinghy just enough so we can work on the platform, and also remove the extension so we can add the emergency tiller, which is only going to get in our way for now. And who knows, I hope not, but maybe we will have to just remove the rudder, drop it down a bit to be able to get the screws in to fasten this new piece on. But let's do it step by step, starting with the dinghy and this extension. That has changed so much to the workspace over here. It's good to have the rudder in place so we can use it to align the new piece, but also we'll see if it's going to get in the way later. And guys, you can only guess what Nico is doing. Of course, he's taking care of the boat. He's over here. He's already worked. I'll show you what he did yesterday. Everything from the cat head over there all the way to here has been varnished already. It's only got one coat. We're trying to get a coat on everything, and then we'll just keep adding and adding and adding to make it nice and resistant. Now, of course, he finished here yesterday, and now he has reached all the way over there with heat gun and scrape it. It's all coming off nicely, and then he goes over with the palm sander and the varnish. There's a lot to do still, but I think he's done a very, very, very good job. Thank you, Nico. The pin that is holding the rudder to the boat now is going to have to be removed at some point in order for us to put it through the new pintle and gudgeon, so we might as well just remove it now so we have a lot more space to work. I still have the low friction rings and the soft shackles that I used for the sheets of the Genoas, so I'm going to just make a little jig here with a rope so we can drop it down. Now this is going to have to hammer it up hard for it to be removed. Other than that, piece of cake. So far everything's going well. It's just a lot of fitting, and it's not an easy piece to put in and out, sand, in, out, and sand. Clayton's been doing an amazing job. The last lines hopefully have been drawn on the extension of the rudder post, and then we need to drill the big hole to get the pintle in, and then we should be good. This morning this piece wasn't ready yet, so we had to invent something else to do. So instead, what Zeka and Clayton started doing is a little bench to get into the engine room, a little step and a handle, which are now ready. Everything's been made so fast here, it's incredible. So I will film in detail what has been made over a period of time once we start installing them. And now they are working on these spreaders. We're going to use ash spreaders. You saw me cut them down the other day. I'm quite surprised how none of them fell and none of them hit me, but they are good, they are down, ready to be replaced, and we are changing the design completely. For now, they're just being cut to the size we want, and then we're going to mount them up in the mast, and we'll do all the explaining and all the showing of where the ideas come from. But for now, let's let them cut that, and then we're going to come straight here. Also, forgot, Mateos is here. He's the guy who takes care of everything from the propeller to the gearbox, so prop shafts, seals, bearings, and so on. All that at the moment is being removed by his colleague Andre, and all this, and it's not even 10 in the morning yet, so I came to this little quiet platform here so I can just tell you what's happening. I'm gonna get to it, get it done as good as possible for the future life of the boat, and then we'll go over what's been installed and how for you guys, because I want you guys to not miss out on anything either. And that is not it. Of course, Nico is doing his amazing job with the varnish still. The welder came over from next door saying I should go there and have a look at the quadrant because that's almost finished and we need to check on. And he's also come with the rings to test on the gaff, because I've ordered the rings where the sails fasten onto, where the halyards fasten onto, and so on. So on top of that, I'm gonna not do anything on the boat now. I'm gonna go next door and have a look. Once I'm back, let's see what we do. And honestly, I can't complain. There are two sides of the spectrum. One, nothing's getting done by no one, which is very, very common. And this side, where everything is getting done too fast all at the same time. And I guess when you're redoing a boat or hauling a boat out, this is the situation you want. Today is a very productive day, but there's one thing that's not being productive, and that is that nut over there. It's been WD-40'd, it's been heated up with this, it's been hammered, and so on. So I think we're going to have to remove it or cut it and put a new one on. The last resort is to get a massive torch. He's just gone to go and get it under it, and he's going to just torch the hell out of it. Then when this flange comes off, the propeller or the shaft can be pulled back a bit and stuff can start being replaced. So it's going to get hot in here. On the platform, Clayton is countersinking the stainless ring, and at the same time I've got the good news. There's a nut there on the table. If everything has worked well so far, all we have to do is turn the rudder all the way to one way. We can do all the drilling that we have to do, fasten everything in place. Of course, we're going to use a bunch of epoxy as well in the joints over there to make sure it's nice and sturdy. Not only are we going to have this screw here, this is actually, we're not counting it as a screw because that's the rudder system. We're going to have some screws separate from that as well. So it's just going to be a bit of playing around as usual, see how we can do it, get some threaded bars through the epoxy and get this rudder pindle, I keep forgetting it, pintle and grudgeon in place. Luckily, just moving the rudder slightly to the side, of course the pin's been removed, solved everything. What we're going to do now is make the hole in the transom for the 1-inch screw. Go down again, hammer it in and hope it fits. Look at that. I see. One of the other top 3 things that we have on our list is drop all the chain out of the anchor chain box and make it deeper. Every time we raise the anchor or lift the anchor, the chain piles up, blocks the hole in the deck, and we have to go in the bow locker to fix it. So having a deeper V-shaped chain box is going to help that out. So we're going to just get all the chain out of the box, leave it all down here, and leave the anchor hanging a bit higher up there. Now we're going to use the manual way, so we're just going to take the brake off, and the weight of the chain is just going to fall down super fast.
Frito peixe no mesmo óleo, sem embrulho só cafuné, avisando com jeitinho, que confusão já não quer. Sai pra andar de pé descalço, raspando no asfalto a coraça que cresce, refazendo a proteção, isso é raro, mas claro que acontece. Ele vai do avesso, não ele vai do avesso, só quem samba do avesso é que bate no peço.
I'm going to take you into the dusty, I even touched stuff and I'm getting dusty, didn't even touch stuff, into the dusty fiberglass dust bow locker where Michael is doing an amazing job. He's removed the bottom flooring of the anchor chain box, which was good and was very strong, but it just wasn't deep enough. So the anchor chain just started sitting here and started piling up until reaching the deck. When the chain reaches the deck, you can't lift with the windlass anymore, so you have to open this box, come down here, rearrange the chain and go up. When it's calm, that's fine, or when there's 2, 3, 4 people on the boat, that's fine. But when it's stormy, windy and your anchor is dragging, you want it to just work properly. So this has been dropped by, I don't know, 20 centimeters. This is going to have a nice slope to it as well. It's going to go all the way down to the bottom, and this is going to be so cool, along with the new rudder post, the new gaffs, and this sailing this boat, even bringing it to new places in rough conditions, is gonna be so much better. So another few big days ahead. Let's see what we can get done with these.
is, but I'm gonna say it anyway. When we started traveling, we installed this red light, which is a truck brake light, which we think is strong enough for our whole pilot house and even the galley down there. So we really like it for night shifts. But we just put it here with those wires, screw it, and it was looking rather scruffy. So, you know those temporary things that just stay for too long? That was the case for this light. I think we have it hanging like this for 6 months. So now that we are here, it was a good opportunity to like, okay, let's get rid of those hanging wires and make a proper job. So my dad is helping me adapting the box, because the only reason it was hanging is because our boxes are originally made for smaller lights, so we couldn't fit this big one. But now we're making some adaptations to the box and we're gonna have it looking nice. Is it a priority? No, because it was safe and it was working, but it was ugly and scruffy. So now it's gonna be looking way nicer. Job amazingly done by my dad. Now all that's left to do, put in place and enjoy the view. And we are good for this year that we have so many miles planned, so many overnight passages. This is gonna be our best friend. Yay!
Another day at the yards, and I'm going to be honest guys, I'm getting a little bit overwhelmed. Kind of in a good sense, because so much is happening at the same time and so much progress is being made. Also, there is so much stuff out everywhere on this boat. We try and tidy up as much as we can, vacuum, brush up all the dust before the evening, before the, let's say, the workday finishes, so we can at least live in a nice space. But so much is happening. Of course, you know, Nico's working hard on the varnishing. He's also painted the anchor chain box. Orlando and Lucas are doing loads. They're working on electrics, lots. The gaffs and the boom, of course, are getting on very nicely. It's a very long project because I'm kind of making sure that once they're on the boat, we don't need to work on them anymore. Very, very good news is that the rings have been made that go around the gaff to add the halyards onto and all that stuff. Also, the quadrant has been made. You see what I mean about being overwhelmed? Oh yeah, and on top of that, we've got someone underneath the boat now working on some of the caulking. Lots of the caulking compound got pushed out of the seams, which is not an issue. The caulking is still super solid, but it's going to make it a bit smoother. A few more things that are happening. We're having some interior furniture built outside by Sandro, who also made our toolbox area and our library. We also have the stern post, which I'm going to start working on right now. Give it a sand, put the polyurethane primer on, and then just get that painted already. That will be one item off the list. But what do you do when you're feeling overwhelmed and you don't know what to do? The best thing is to get one job, no matter how high the priority is, and you just do it, because that's one item less on the list. What do you guys think of my beautiful painting pot? Not sponsored, by the way. You have to jump from the roofs with parachutes and motorbikes for that. I'm lying down nice and cozy over here, and look who's in the dinghy over there. Hey, found some shade. It is such a hot day. We've actually put another tarp over here, you can see, so you can work on at least the sides of the boat, or whoever does, without suffering. The advantage of this heat is that everything dries really fast. I'm just going to get all the imbalances off here so it's nicely painted with a primer, and then I'm going to go over it with EPU paint and probably touch up some things around here as well. Vai.
Aí.
É isso, viu? Foi só isso, valeu.
Awake in the morning with a light upon her skin, coffee cup before the day begins. Don't go, stay a while, we'll slow it all the way back down. Time is still and there's nowhere to be. Birds are talking outside, getting space for the words we hold inside to come out. So stay a while, we'll slow it all the way back down.
Every day at the yard, we tick a few more things off the list. Small steps, steady progress. And somehow it feels like our to-do list just gets bigger. There's a lot happening at once, a lot to figure out, and a lot to get right. And some days it can feel a little overwhelming, but that is part of it. This is how we move forward. The only question is, will we be ready in time?